Okay, here we go. We're in the Sefer of the Yanuka, chapter 15, Darchei HaTorah, the pathways of the Torah. Let's go. Ad shelo ba'Avram Avinu mimenu heichela hanitzoitzos kabbalas haTorah. Until Abraham was alive in the world, there wasn't, or Abraham started to descend the sparks of the receiving of the Torah. The process of the receiving of the Torah started with Abraham. Because at that time, the attribute of God's justice and this gevura, the hiddenness of God, was at its fullest expression, at its peak moment when God was hidden in the world. At that time, there didn't exist a pathway to get close to and to know about the greatness of God outside of the attribute of fear and awareness of God alone. That was the only way you could have any connection to the greatness of God, is just to be terrified of God. And this all comes forth in source, and its essence is in the attribute of gevura, God's attribute of justice and deen, and you guys understand what it means, this attribute of justice, Shikeneged Shem Elokim, which is juxtaposed and connected to the name of God, which is Elokim. God's got different names. The name Elokim of God connects to this hiddenness, and that's the only way at that time people connected to God. As it says in Genesis Bereshis 5:22, Chanoch, he went with God, but he used the name of God, Elokim. Also it says in Genesis, we did that one. It also says in Genesis 6:9, as Elokim Ishalech Noah. Noah went with Elokim. So Noah was with God, but guess what version of God he was with? He was with the God Elokim. And guess what else? It's also written in the book of Job. Job was a simple man, a straightforward man who feared God. Elokim, same name. All the people before Abraham were chilling and rolling with God, but only one type of God, the God of hiddenness, the God of strict justice, Elokim. And the way to rectify all the things and all these matters is, at that time, was the only way to fix the world was through the attribute of fear and pachad and awareness, which is spread about in all the creations. You wanted to know God, you wanted to serve God, you wanted to understand Him, be terrified of Him. And just like when Hashem flooded the generation of Enosh, which was a sinning generation, He flooded a third of the world, got wiped out. So everyone's like, "Oh, this God is serious. If you start to sin, off with your head." Okay, we did that. Same thing with the generation of the Tower of Babel. God came in and just rocked everyone. Dora Mabel, God flooded the whole world except for Noah. Everyone's like, this is a God to fear, because if you step out of line, He's going to wipe you off the planet. And any times that humans were disconnected or lost the attribute of fear of God from the Creator, may be blessed, they would come to be separate, distance, and they would come to serve idols. So the byproduct of not fearing God is automatically you're going to start serving idols. And because they lost the fear and awareness of God, the world couldn't exist anymore. It had to get canceled out and destroyed. It's a formula that we have to recognize over here. But with Abraham, he brought down into the world a revelation and a recognition of the greatness of God through the attribute of kindness and from the side of love, Abraham activated this new way to understand God and to serve God with chesed and with love. And with this pathway, our ancestors, every generation, the holy ancestors after Abraham, did more and more stretching of this revelation and made it revealed more into the world. It's fermenting. Avram started the process of serving God from love, and guess what? Now the whole world is adding on to that. That the whole world can come to recognize the greatness of God also through the attribute of kindness and love, meaning we were only able to recognize God from fear and terror and being afraid of Him. Now, Abraham started a new path. We can know about God and relate to Him through love and kindness. Shushlemus hadavekos, that's the totality of real attachment to God. That's when you're fully attached to God, it's through that side. And this carried over every generation, adding more love and kindness into the picture every sage, until finally we made it to Mount Sinai, to Har Sinai, and that's when we completed the service. And the Torah finally came down and was revealed to the whole world. Wow. Unbelievable. Finally, we get to have a loving God. And therefore, the path where a human can come to know and recognize the greatness of God, may be blessed, can only now happen through the Torah. You can't know God anymore through loving kindness and through fear of God or anything. You have to go through the Torah to know God, because we finally finished the mission of revealing God. Shal yada nimtak adin, and through learning Torah, you disconnect the harsh, strict judgments and God's concealment and hiddenness in the world. God becomes revealed. And now humans, now that we have the Torah, we can come to a place to understand and know with our very own eyes the greatness of God may be blessed. The Torah empowers us to know God is through love and kindness. We have no idea how lucky we are. I love you all so much. Stay strong. Sorry, I may look very tired now. You have no idea how tired I am. But the show must go on. I'm going to take a little nap, and then we got to head to the farm and do missions. Stay strong, my brothers and sisters. Ooh, it's a tough one out there. It's very tough exile, but we got this. We could do it. Love you all. Stay strong. Over now.